I'm not muted anymore.
Breaky has no
I cannot. I have not been able to get a good intro off this whole. Pan-Man needs to save us indeed. Okay, that should be better now. I did unmute myself, and you guys should be able to hear me now. I don't know what it is with these podcasts, man. Every single introduction I just completely failed. Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning into the Honcast Podcast. Of course, plenty of Hon to talk about. When it comes down to it, obviously, we just had this major event that just happened. In case you didn't hear, well, DreamHack Summer 2013 took place. And, well, we have our champion from that, of course. So we're going to talk plenty about that event, give our perspectives on what we thought about it, run it down a little bit, take a look back kind of down memory lane from the event. I mean, a lot of things to remember. It really was, as far as the teams and moments and everything. On top of that, though, you know, we were planning to just make this more of just a post-DreamHack show, but hey, well, what wouldn't be a Han podcast without a little bit of drama perhaps to talk about, a little bit of stirring going on post-event. So, of course, there's several things to talk about, mainly the Stay Green situation and what holds there. So we'll be talking about all that, including a couple of guest interviews that we'll have on. But first things first, I want to go ahead and get the introductions out of the way, of course. I'm Breaky CBK. To my left over here, or is that right on your screen? Right on your screen, my left. Anyways, we got Emperor over there. Emperor, how you doing, buddy?
No. I'm doing good. How are you, Breaky? I don't even know your name anymore.
We're just all sorts of fail, man. It's a new week. It's a fresh week.
Phil? Yeah.
We're still recovering. What did you just call me?
Phil?
Whoa! Whoa! Stretching there.
Wow.
Stretching there.
I don't even know, man.
No, Phil's a good guy. I have no problem with that. No, but anyways, we'll try this again. Emperor, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Breaky. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. I really am. It's a fresh new week. We got finished with a great event. I'm feeling pretty good right now, so there's a lot to talk about today, man.
There is actually a surprising amount, and it all happened
pretty quickly.
I'm pretty late last night, so perfect timing, really.
Yeah, definitely lined up pretty well. Our Beef, of course, joining us down below. Beef, how you doing as always?
Doing pretty well. Excited to be here. Excited to talk about DreamHack, and excited to talk about drama. Right? It's gonna be fun. So definitely looking forward to it. Gonna be moving later on this week, and then MLG Anaheim this weekend. So it's gonna be a good week for me overall.
You're gonna be heading out to MLG Anaheim, huh?
22 people going from Complexity.
Really?
22 people.
Wow.
22.
Wow.
It's gonna be insane. Yeah, we've got our League, our Call of Duty, and our StarCraft rosters, as well as 6 staff going out.
Oh, okay.
Right on. So are you going there to work more so, or are you actually going to have fun? I mean,
both.
A little bit both. Okay.
Complexity family event, man. Just to be out there supporting the teams and also having some fun.
Have you been to the MLG event before?
Yeah, I've gone to Anaheim the last 2 years.
It's fun. It's a fun event. The Anaheim event's actually their biggest, I believe, out of all of them. Yeah. So definitely some good times there. All right, well, gonna have some fun there, I'm sure. The fan of the bat. This thing mystifies people, I swear. This fan back here. It's a crazy invention. It's all magic. It's sorcery. Pan-Man brought it in. I don't know how to explain how it works. Anyways,
he's the master of gadgets.
He is. He really is the master of gadgets. So there's this guy here. He's gonna help me out a little. Oh, keep it right there. Keep it right there the whole time. There you go. All right. So I don't know. It's probably ruining everything. All right, though. Anyways, let's get back to business here. Okay. So this podcast again, as far as what we're gonna be talking about. So again, obviously the DreamHack event. Who the hell has it playing? I can hear it from somewhere. Anyways, I'm calling paranoid, man. ADD over here. The DreamHack event, a lot to talk about from that. But before we really jumped into the DreamHack event, the coverage for that, we do have a couple of interviews lined up here. I wanted to get them in because they were ones to come onto the show here and kind of talk about a couple of things. Well, first off, so of course we got Stay Green winning it all in the end. And spoiler alert, if you haven't heard by now, Stay Green, of course, took the DreamHack Summer 2013 event. As you can see, if you go to ghostygamers.net/Han, again, the great coverage that Fantasy did over there. It pretty much has a great breakdown of the whole event in case you missed any of it, but you do got that awesome picture right there. And
this is actually kind of funny looking at that photo and looking at Slicks and Casey right there in the middle.
Maybe it tells something. I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah, it is actually. That's a kind of a fun coincidence, isn't it? No, but the side again, a lot of breakdown and everything, again, in case you missed anything. But Stay Green did take first, $18,000 as well as the title. You got Complexity, of course, the runner-up, and then Stay Green EU finishing in third place. So first, before we have our guests come on, I just real quickly want to kind of get your guys' overall view and what you thought about DreamHack as a whole. I'm not going too many specifics, of course, just yet. But what did you guys think about DreamHack? How was it for you guys? Emperor, we'll start with you.
DreamHack, I expected good things from it, but I didn't expect like the beyond amazing, mind-blowing action. Some of the games that we had from the down to the wire finals to the SG comeback in that game against SGU. So
yeah,
overall, great event, nice surprises. Half of it was underwhelming to me. Half of it was thoroughly underwhelming to me. I should like with the lower half of the teams, it felt like sometimes that they just weren't bringing their total spirit, all their capabilities to the event. So I was expecting more out of a lot of people, and they didn't deliver. I'll say that much. You know, namely ITS, but I expected a little bit more out of the SEA teams. I still think they're capable of more. And you know, besides that, wait, who am I missing? There, there's the SEA teams. There's the
Impunity,
there was Kung Fu Gaming.
Kung
Fu Gaming as well, which was they're alright. They're nice guys. There's some
they're
okay
pretty
players,
decent. I mean,
players, but what's up?
I thought they did a lot better than anyone really expected in the end. So for them, I mean,
do about as well as they did. Like,
yeah?
I didn't think they were that bad. So I knew some of the guys on there. I knew them from before, and I was like, there was Limestyle, GG Slaya, and Noodle, aka Zhang, and I know they're all really good players. So I was expecting them to do better than the Russian team, but in the end, like, it was a great event.
Yeah,
I'm glad we saw as much action and condition as we did with the top 4 teams, and it kicked off with a bang as well. SG versus Myth S2Y. Sorry. That game was phenomenal. It was like, holy crap, they're coming prepared. They really want to take out SG. I thought they might have had a chance. In the end, yeah, good event.
A lot of fun. Beef, what about your side of things? You, of course, doing the coverage alongside Honcast, the whole thing through, grinding it out with us. How was the event for you, man?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Like Cyrus said, it was a lot of fun. Had high expectations going in. I think that my expectations for production, both on Honcast and Colecast side, might have actually been exceeded by what was actually put out, which was great. I mean, the production, I think that especially Honcast did a really, really good job. Of course, there were some things that could be worked on that hopefully will be addressed in the future, but outside of production, the games, especially between the top teams, were absolutely phenomenal. Once you got into that championship bracket, it was incredible. The group stages, big upsets like VDT over Stay Green, Complexity versus Stay Green, SGEU making it all the way through the group 7-0. There were some massive storylines going into that. The finals were incredible. I was actually just screaming at my monitor, like, during the finals. Multiple times. I'm just, like, watching, and I'm like, no, please don't. Oh, my God, we're turning it around. It was insane. It was a lot of fun. Like Cyrus said, with some of the teams, especially ITS, there were some really disappointing games, especially with ITS. There was some where they went into games with, like, 5 push strategies and just kind of did ridiculous things, and there was some kind of screw arounds all over the place once the brackets were settled. The last 2 rounds of games didn't mean anything, so I think all the teams were kind of screwing around during that in the group stages. Overall, though, I think it was probably one of the best, if not the best, actual tournaments Han has had over there at DreamHack, and I'm really, really hoping that I get to make it out there for winter.
Yep, go ahead.
I want to make a quick note that I don't necessarily attribute ITS's performance due to... I don't want to take that and say, hey, Bless and Love aren't capable of great things in some of their roster. I just know that half of their team was pretty much makeshift, and that's, I think, part of why we saw the ITS.
It was a very unfortunate situation for them, to say the least. So, you know, and Nova made a good point. We had him on that interview where kind of the makeshift where he even came on and to kind of save the day, as a lot of people put it, but... He made a strong point that they really wanted to prove themselves. They really wanted to make a statement, at least of some kind, you know, that this is a community, the CIS community can compete with even the best of the best, but it just wasn't set up for them to succeed, honestly, with the way it played out, obviously. So, in the end, it was what it was, but again, anyways, before we get too much into the actual... breakdown of the full event. Before we do all that, I do want to go ahead and move into our interviews here that we got lined up. So the first one that we're going to bring on, just a quick, let's just explain it quickly from what the news, you can even say the breaking news that we have to an extent here. I think it even came out earlier today. Basically, Keizu and Slicks reportedly have left State Green. They left State Green. Where they go from here, it's still completely up in the air. Maybe we'll get some answers here in just a minute or so. But Slicks and Keizu are officially no longer with State Green. So you're left with Chessie, Swinamelons, and Z-Freak, of course, as far as that situation plays out. Now, honestly... when it comes down to, post big events like DreamHack, this happens. Even to the biggest teams, it's happened before. It'll continue to happen. Exactly. The post DreamHack shuffle is what we can call it. So, that's kind of where we're at right now. But before, again, I don't want to really start discussing until let's actually just bring the man on himself to kind of give his perspective on the situation, kind of explain perhaps, what the reasoning was, whatever else, as far as why things took place. So I'm going to go ahead and try to give Keizu a call right here. And as soon as he picks up, we'll go ahead and start asking him those questions. So I'm very curious not only to kind of get just his statement on this whole situation, but also, what the future holds now, of course, for him and Slicks and maybe something else. So, Keizu.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good.
Going good, going good. You feeling good after DreamHack? You've been streaming a lot, man.
I've been streaming only today, actually, but I've been streaming for like 18 hours, so yeah.
I would count that a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Marathon.
No one in this call knows what marathon streaming is.
Yeah, right.
No.
Emperor's never done that before. Oh man. Well, we wanna pretty much get right into it though. Okay, so again, obviously, there's big news that came out today from your side. Really, you announced it on your stream, I think, officially not too long ago. Want to kind of give you the chance once again here on the podcast, kind of your official statement, really what the situation is here with the State Green and you guys. So, take it away.
Okay, so first off, since most of the people know, both Trent and I are officially leaving the team. And first off, I'm gonna talk for Trent as well a little bit, even though he's not here.
Okay.
But we mostly share the same opinion. So first off, we want to say sorry to all the supporters and fans we have that we're kind of splitting up like this after having such a great run. But simply, over the past, we've had problems in the team. The personalities just kept clashing, and I just call it attitude problems. And over the time, it just got bigger and bigger and harder to deal with. And eventually, at the point that we are at right now, it's not possible for me to enjoy playing within the team, even though we are the #1 team at this point, or were.
Well, I mean, it's in the end. Personally, I can completely understand. I mean, it is a game in the end. You do want to have fun in the end. You guys have been winning, obviously, but maybe this is a great statement here that could only mean so much in the end. Winning is one thing. It's great feeling, I'm sure, but at the same time, it is about having fun. So, you think that's a fair statement, Keizu?
Yeah. I've
yeah.
kind of said the same on the forums. It's not all about winning. It's about enjoying and having fun playing the game.
Right on.
Game.
Okay, well, I guess the next obvious question is then, so with you and Slicks leaving, what does the future hold? Do you have any insight on that right now? Is it kind of we'll see? I mean, what's the deal?
Well, yeah, we already have plans, but that's nothing that I can reveal at all right now.
Nothing.
It's all still really
not even
secret.
a little bit of a peek?
Not even.
So do you have anyone figured out yet besides you and Slicks, though?
Yes.
Okay, so you have some people in mind already.
So
Okay.
Choose making a comeback is what you're saying.
Yes, and No Tail.
Okay. And No Tail's making a comeback.
Chew and No Tail. Well, Era as well. Hey, why are you
We shouldn't be
Save
doing
it.
this. We shouldn't
Cat
be doing
Main?
this.
Oh, hell no. He's busy playing the Guitar Hero, man. Come on.
He's an incredible Guitar Hero player.
Is he?
Cat Main?
Cat
How do you know
Main
this?
is? Oh, wow.
Yes, he's phenomenal.
How do you know that?
Because Cat Main's
talk
my
with him,
bro.
Of course. Of course. All right, so nothing, unfortunately, that you can give. Do we have a time stamp, maybe? I mean, a time area of when we maybe could expect to hear some news, or can you give us anything?
I'd say a couple days.
Okay, so pretty soon then. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to hear. Right on. So, it's safe to say that you and Slicks are going to be sticking with Han for now?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
good. That's another good point. All right. Well, again, that's pretty much answered. Making the point of this whole situation. What the future holds, at least of what you're willing to tell us. So,
Actually, I have a couple more comments because
yeah, no, of course.
There's been so much talk on the forums that's completely taken out of context.
Okay.
For example, videos or comments that have been posted by viewers, basically stuff that's said by people that you don't know, aka not including SG or any other top teams. It's not true. Both Trent and I had made up our mind before the event that no matter the outcome, we would not stick with the team anymore.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with Kyle denying me a hug at DreamHack or any other rumors that are going around. It's none of it's none of that.
The hug denies pretty VM.
I didn't even know about it anymore until I saw the video.
Yeah.
But
Han conspiracy theorist, man.
Yeah. And on top of that, I'd still like to thank them for the time in the team, because it's mostly been just a great time. Also, I mean, we lived together in America, and I've never been to the States before that, so I still have to give them a huge thanks and a shout out for that, and I just wish them the best pretty much, especially for Jesse. It really sucks leaving him at this point, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. No, it's good to hear that, and obviously, again, you guys are young. You got some great life experiences out of it, like you were saying. So, it definitely wasn't all for naught. I think it's safe to say. I kind of want to now also, while we do have you on, so kind of staying away from. Okay, so you made your announcement here to more official even. What about the DreamHack event though itself? Kind of looking back at the DreamHack event, how did you enjoy the DreamHack event yourself this year, Casey? Or did you? I mean, what was the deal with that?
Yeah, DreamHack is. It doesn't even matter how you place. It's always just a great event to either be there or play or spectate or whatever you do. As long as you're at the event, you're for sure gonna have a great time. So I definitely enjoyed it, especially since we won in the end. That just made it even better.
I mean, how about that finish, man? What were things like, especially after you guys lost those 3 games? I mean, what were things like for you guys?
We were a bit, I don't know, went a little bit harsh, but after the group stage we talked it out, we talked strategy, what we would do different, and I don't know, we just had a really long talk while we were eating pizza and kebab and whatever, and after that it just worked 100 times better than before.
It clicked. Going into the brackets, especially on the 3-game losing streak, was there a doubt in your mind that maybe we're going to be beat, maybe we're not going to win this whole thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There were those doubts throughout some of the games. Also, right after the group stage, or when we lost the first game to VDT, after having such a long winning streak, if you lose a game, it feels
it's different.
A little bit weird, I guess.
Speaking of that, what do you think about Gemini?
That's a pretty good hero.
Pretty good hero, yeah. Expect to start seeing him more on the scene, perhaps.
If he gets farm, he's quite the beast.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he was a fun hero to watch, and Pewee was amusing watching it play it. So,
how did winning feel after losing finally after so long and sort of forgetting what it's like to lose? Did winning feel better in the end?
Of course.
Yeah.
It felt amazing, especially being on. I haven't been on the stage before, unlike Jesse and Trent. I believe they've both been on the stage a couple of times.
The main stage.
But I haven't. Yeah, the main stage, of course, at DreamHack.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been on that before, and it was just, even sitting on the stage, even if we had lost, it would have been a great feeling to just realize and feel what it really feels like when you're playing on it. And then, on top of that, we won, so it just felt really great.
It's awesome, man.
It's awesome.
Awesome experience. Beef, do you have any questions yourself, or?
Not particularly about DreamHack, but I just want to know, as somebody that's probably closer to the SG team than, well, certainly any of us and most of the people watching out there, where do you think they go from now? I mean, are they going to rebuild this team? Are there any prospects that you can think of that they might try to pick up?
To be quite fair, I have no idea. Anything could happen. They could pick up 2 players, or something else could happen, and they completely split up. I don't know.
Yeah.
You think that's a real possibility, that they could completely split up at this point?
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think there's... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. You go.
Well, I was going to say, do you think there's any chance that they're going to be able to make the Miami powerhouse happen again? Are they going to be able to get 5 people to move out there to Miami again to try to be the best gaming team in Heroes of Newerth?
I guess there could be a chance, but I don't see it happening.
That's fair.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling that they're not gonna find however more players they need to a free if it's Kyle and Zach and Chessie or not Chessie. I don't know if they can convince 2 or 3 other players to get over to the States like they did with us and try and be the best team.
It was a unique experience for sure. I mean,
Yes.
to kind of duplicate that, it does seem like it would be tough again for sure. So, and again, after a big event like this, it happens. The DreamHack Shuffle, as we were talking about earlier, so we'll see where things end up. But again, Casey even brought the point that maybe within a couple days we'll know some good information as far as where certain things are going at least. So that's exciting to hear at least what the deal with that is. So. Casey, man, do appreciate you coming on, kind of making the statement there, and making things a little more official, getting a better understanding. Any shout-outs you want to make?
Just shout out to all the fans and people who supported me throughout the whole time I've been playing Hon. It hasn't been SG or the teams before or in the future. Just, I really appreciate the people that support me and just make my days more enjoyable when I stream, that watch my stream, and shout out to my family, my friends, and that's pretty much it.
There we go. Casey, appreciate it, man, as always. Best of luck to you, and we'll look forward to hearing that news, hearing that information on what's going to be happening, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, Kazu.
Love you, buddy.
Thanks. Same beef. You know it.
All right, so there you go. Kazu joining us there here on the podcast, kind of giving us take, and again, the whole situation there as far as what's kind of happening, what happened, what the future perhaps hold. I mean, that was interesting. To hear that it could very likely be happening so quickly as far as news on roster.
I mean,
so,
like he said, I don't think that there was any kind of spontaneity to this. This is something that they had talked about and considered for a long time. And I mean, we had all kind of heard rumors, like a little bit about people not being happy, but I don't know. I think they definitely planned out what's going to happen next, and now it's just up to them to reveal those plans and see what comes out next and see if we have a new powerhouse on the scene.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. With the State Green situation, too, yeah, there's multiple teams that are obviously affected by this, and it's going to be interesting to see what things happen. You know, he was also with the whole Chessie idea, too. I kind of, wondered, he was even mentioning 2, maybe even 3 more players that they would have to replace. So, wonder what Chessie is now, too, with that whole situation. So, who knows? We'll see. All right, though. Moving forward, so we had Kazu come on, and the next in line we were planning to have come on, and kind of this is more so just because he is who he is, and why not? I guess no, but also to kind of get his take on DreamHack, what he thought about his experiences, and how much fun he had. I'm guessing at least that he did have plenty of fun, and seeing what he thought about the event. So I'm going to quickly change screens right here and go ahead and give him a call when he see if he can pick up here. But gonna be joined by Moon Meander, the one and only Moon Meander, and I believe he might be with us. Moon, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
How's it going, buddy?
Hey.
Good to talk with you. You just waking up, man? Early over there?
No.
You're good?
It's actually, I'm in Europe right now, so it's pretty nice.
That's right. Okay.
PM.
So you stayed behind. Where are you in Europe?
Denmark.
Fun. Staying behind for now. Any plans to come back in the near future, or are you going to be staying there for a little bit?
Please don't use that picture of me. My hair is too long.
That's the sexiest picture, man. Now. Sick swag picture, man.
I'm on vacation right now. In 2 weeks I'll be back.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right on. All right, so we want to have you come on, obviously, to talk about a couple of things. First off, we just had Kazu. I don't know if you're listening or not.
I was
okay, we just had Kazu on talking about the State Green situation. Do you have any insight on? I mean, what do you think about that whole situation with State Green and whatnot?
I think that it is pretty fucked up.
Yep.
When I heard Skype, I couldn't believe it. I thought that State Green were like brothers because they were like hugging and kissing and petting each other. I'm just kidding. They're just touching and hugging a lot. And I thought that they were like brothers, and the way they talk to each other, they're always smiling and hugging and high-fiving, and there's so much team synergy. I thought they were getting along well, but I was wrong. So I was surprised.
Yeah. Do you know anything as far as moving forward? I mean, are you just as curious as everyone else as far as moving forward, what may happen now with the teams and whatnot?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the post-remix shuffle, what's going to happen. And it always happens after every DreamHack, and I am pretty sure a new powerhouse is going to come out of this.
Yeah. I find it hard to believe not. I mean, Keizu and Slicks alone, it sounds like that they're at least steaming up for something. So it's obviously two strong players right there. So we'll see. We'll definitely see what's going to be happening there. All right, enough about that, though. I want to talk about you and your team, Moomiander. Of course, coming off that as a runner-up of DreamHack. Unfortunately, the runner-up, I could even say, but it was. I'm sure you had some fun. What did you think about the DreamHack event as a whole, Moon?
It was great, really fun. Lots of people, lots of fans, and shitty food as usual. Great weather, and get to see all of the other teams again, and we had a lot of fun. Every night after we play, we just go to the bar and have a couple of beers. It was great.
So it's a lot of that bonding, just gonna hang out with people that you can just talk with and hang out with, be a gamer and not be afraid to be that. So it's a fun experience. Gotta bring it up though, the finals, man. You guys were so close. Game number 3, you're even ahead at points. What did it feel like after you lost that game and knowing that you're gonna be finishing the runner-up?
Felt like shit. We won. I thought we had that game for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how people say time freezes for you and like moves really slow? It happened to me right when I blinked in, and then when like Pebbles comboed me, Witchslayer stunned me and ulti me, and then Tempest solo hold me. I thought that this team fight is ours. We have token. We're gonna win this for sure. And then it turned out so bad, and I was like, what the hell happened? And yeah, it just sucks because we were so close to winning. If it was like a stomp, I wouldn't feel as bad. Like, oh, second place we could have stomped. Yeah, I stay green, but we actually like almost won, and that's the saddest part about it. When you're so close, you see the light, but then it turns dark, and then you just left there.
Yeah.
Wailing in the darkness, and then you can't see anything, and your monitor's turned off, and then next thing you know, someone's yelling at you to scalp for wolves or some shit. I don't know.
No.
Did I miss something with the scout with the wolves, KZ? I know like there was that game that got wiped out. I know there's the game that got wiped out. Did he say something like scout with the wolves, KZ?
Yeah,
I saw the picture. I don't know if anyone has it, but I saw the picture. And it's hilarious. Am I missing something? Can someone inform?
I don't know personally, but
I'll tell you the whole story. Okay, so it was DreamHack versus VDT, right? Remember the first spot they got?
Yeah, of course. And the KZ wasn't scouting. Yeah,
he wasn't scouting his wolves, but it wasn't his fault because his monitor was turned off. It was black.
Yeah.
Anything, and Suno was just kept ragging on and on about Kizu. Why didn't you scout the wolves? And Kizu just saying, "Are you listening to what I'm saying? My monitor is dying. I can't do anything." And it's sort of like, why don't you just scout the wolves? And it's just so funny.
Yeah. Oh, good times.
It's one of the videos that Casey was talking about that weren't exactly the reason he left Stay Green, but still kind of an insight.
People are gonna bring it up, and I believe it's on the Reddit.
I just saw the picture. It was like a ranger or something, and it says at the top like "Scout with the wolves." Casey, I don't know. I love it.
So. How would you compare this DreamHack, as a player perspective, how would you compare this DreamHack to previous ones that you've been to, Moon?
Great. I didn't have to play 13 hours a day and sleep 4 hours a night. It was
Must be nice.
Awesome. Like, nicely planned, and I was like, my team was like, oh, we'll play at 9 in the morning. I'm like, oh, no, we can be a little bit late. Everything's gonna get delayed. So we arrived at 8:55, and Milf was like, what the fuck? Where the fuck have you guys been? And then we're like, what the hell is starting now? Like, because we expect as for every land that every game is always delayed by 1 hour. So like, we just got set up and we just played straight away. But we were surprised. I was surprised that everything went smoothly, no delays. At most maybe delayed 10 minutes, and it was great.
Yeah.
Were you guys worried about Stay Green EU at all? Because, I mean, I'm talking about more so the bracket stage. So when they got knocked down after you guys eventually got knocked down as well, you had to play them in the losers bracket. Were you worried there, or were you confident that you're going to be able to take them out?
I wouldn't say I'm not worried. At the same time, I wouldn't say I'm not confident. It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I'm confident we can beat them because I know what they pick, and then we just kind of lock Sandwraith in a lock pool, so it's like kind of a bad. And then we really limited the hero pools that they could pick from. And then when they picked D-Sham, and we knew that we were building into a bird gate, we saw it coming a mile away. Even you guys called it, It was so easy to spot, and we just raped the bird.
It works.
Just gotta shut down the bird, man.
Yeah.
Turn him into that roast.
SGEU looked good, man. They went 7-0 in the group stages, obviously. Hell, they were winning that game 1. I mean, I know that you, you guys actually got to watch that game, I'm sure, the SG versus SGU, that series. Were you just as shocked as everyone else when Stay Green won that game in the first game there? Came back.
Not really, because they had Tempest, which can turn games all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when you've struggling hitting nothing to cancel it, and Chesty carries pretty damn hard. So, no Chesty. But also, I was surprised that if that was not Draconis, let's say that was anything but Draconis, maybe
Yeah.
Soul Reaper or any kind of pushing hero like say
Yeah.
MOA, they would have won the game so easily, you know.
Mhm.
For like Draconis did nothing, was just a bad draft.
Yeah.
That was a crazy how it played out in the end, that's for sure. So, Emperor or Beef, you have any questions yourself? For Mr. Moo Meander here?
Yes, I do. Moon, I know that you were really looking forward to playing against the SEA teams going into this.
Yeah.
Notably Impunity. There might have been like a little bit of beef there or something. I mean, were you excited to play them, and how'd that turn out for you?
No beef.
No beef?
No beef.
All right.
It was exciting to play versus them. The guy I wanted to play against the most, who supposedly took my best friend from Singapore's girl in some feud. He didn't turn up because he had to stay behind for the army. So I was like, you know what, whatever. And then
Signify,
yeah.
I don't know who it was, but it's one of them.
That's
And then-
Signify.
That's
He's not
Purify,
buddy.
Signify, yeah.
Yeah, anyway,
Emperor's
he
buddy.
didn't come, so I was like, yeah, you know what, it's okay. And then I get to play against them. It was fun and all, but it wasn't that hard. You know, it was all right. We just watched the VDT games and we kind of knew their weaknesses after that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Moon, I don't know if you can say that there was no beef. Can I read this quote from an email that we had last week?
Oh no, we beat
2 weeks ago?
beef, please.
His Moon's public image a little bit.
I don't know, man. This is pretty crazy, but it looked like there was beef there. But you did take down Impunity. They went 1-6 in the group phase. Were they a little bit weaker on land than you expected them to be?
Yeah, I think attributes to the fact that you guys might not realize it, but you're like, oh, there's Southeast Asian teams, but half of them were Malaysians, half of them were Singaporeans, and there's a huge difference between a Singaporean and a Malaysian in the language they speak. Some speak Cantonese, some speak Mandarin, and Singaporeans speak English mostly because they're Raffles or HCI boys. So there was language barriers, and there was sort of some nationality pride issue going on too, I think. So it doesn't work.
Yeah,
It's like
I knew about the half and half, obviously, because the merger of Orange Esports and Impunity essentially for the event.
Yeah.
I just didn't really realize how much of a language
Was
barrier
that
there would
much,
be.
yeah. I mean, so kind of going a little bit further. So the Southeast Asian scene, obviously, you have the Myth S2I from Thailand. I mean, are you still? I know that we've been giving them a lot of credit and whatnot for definitely growing as a scene, especially Thailand. But are you still a little bit under the impression that, well, maybe you were expecting more out of S2I, out of Impunity, or was that not surprising to you in the end? I mean, do you think they're where they're at, and it's fair to say that, you know, the NAU region is just a step ahead right now, or do you ever see that happening here in the near future still? I mean, them coming up, but...
I think S2Y, if they play in Hunter Season 2, they'll easily be in Diamond the whole way and knock out every other team. Like rank 6 and below will get knocked out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not the Russian team, but they will knock out like... Maybe I would say S2Y will be placed like rank 8 to 10 in Diamond League.
Okay.
Okay.
It's definitely up there.
Speaking of those teams, I mean, the Thai Haunt Tour Grand Finals were this weekend. Did you happen to watch any of those?
I watched quite a bit of it.
Yeah?
Who won
Turtle
that?
Masters. I can't remember who won it, but I watched a couple games. But I didn't actually watch the finals. Just wanted to see what they're picking.
S2Y won it, I believe,
Oh, did
over
they? Okay.
Turtle Master. No, not over Turtle Master.
Was it Neo's MMR?
Yeah, maybe. I know that Cade actually upset Turtle Master, and Turtle Master took 4th as a result. So Turtle Master was kind of like a favorite going in, I believe.
Yeah, I think they were them and S2Y really, top two teams. So
But it was a fun event. I watched a few of those games this weekend.
fun. Yeah, it's good to see them doing well over there.
Whoa,
It really
whoa,
is.
whoa, whoa, whoa!
What's that?
It's not over yet.
I was
That's
gonna say,
right.
guys,
Okay.
I was
I'm
like-
insane.
I've been
I'm
sitting here
insane.
quiet, like, are they...
Emperor, can you just butt in before I make a complete ass out of myself, please?
No, you got me worried. I was like, did I miss something?
I know.
Like, why is
Oh
everyone
my
talking
god.
about it like
Okay,
it's over?
I knew that S2I was in the finals, but the 3rd, 4th place match was over. That's the one I watched. So
there's still some to come. There's still
that
some
makes
to come.
more sense now.
We'll have to definitely look out for that. See how that finishes.
Disaster.
All right, though, Moon. I don't know if there's really much else from our end, but as always, want to give you the chance. Any shout-outs you want to make? Anything you want to say here?
Shout out to Honto Season 2 dates coming out, please. Please give us a date, please. My teammates are just playing Dota 2 every day. They've been playing tournaments. Please make them stop. So,
Playing
like,
Dota 2 tournaments?
Yeah.
yeah, they're just playing Dota 2 tournaments and shit like that, and all they do is play Dota 2. They even playing Dota 2 right now as we speak. They even streaming Dota 2 as we speak. Oh my god, it's so bad. And like, I just want them to just play one game a day, and they just want dates. You know, my teammates, they want dates before they want to play. It's understandable. If there's no dates for Honto Season 2, there's nothing to practice for. So, hopefully that comes out soon.
Hopefully. All right. Well, that's it. Then. Moon, again, it's always fun to talk to you. Thanks for coming on, man. Telling us everything, and look forward to more in the future, man.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
See you, man.
There we go. Of course, Moon Meander joining us there from Complexity. I'll let that kind of fix itself eventually.
Yeah. I mean, what he said at the end, though, I mean, there is value. I mean, in the end, the players, you need something to feel inspired for. So, I mean, hopefully, yeah, if it's not hard, at least some sort of regular tournament, even a weekly, or something that the players can actually, like, you know, strive for. It's like essentially practice for every week. Because otherwise, it's like, okay, we have downtime. You know, it's a vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, you know,
Monkey King isn't going to.
I was gonna say there is that, but at the same time,
the pushing force. So.
Yeah. Again, hopefully there's announcements here in the near future as far as more information, at least when things are going to be happening, and kind of get things going back in gear. But it does seem like that it does happen after every major event. You know, they go through the phases of a little bit of time goes through, maybe not major events since the last one, but then eventually once it starts getting kicked off, I think everything will be good to go once again. So. All right, but yeah, no, that was fun. Got both Keizu and Moomianer on in case you just missed any of it. Of course, once we're eventually finished here, you could check the VOD out. Had some solid interviews there. Got some good information out of those two guys. So, as far as what we're going to now continue doing is really just kind of recapping DreamHack here. Recapping what we thought about it some more, and perhaps talk about breaking down a little bit more, but then not much else, honestly. So. Really, those interviews were going to be a big part of this show, so definitely happy to have them on. Okay, so about the DreamHack event, again, we've already talked about the results here. Stay Green, of course, taking it all. Again, one more time, GhostGamers.net/Han, a great breakdown over there of the whole event. Complexity getting second, Stay Green EU finishing third. So, you know, let's take a look at that whole event as far as the teams that may have disappointed. I think it's kind of safe to say maybe all in the same part of this. So we already talked a little bit about ITS. Let's talk about Impunity now. I mean, what about Impunity? Could we really say it was mainly because maybe the issues they have with communicating with one another? I mean,
that wasn't even the same Impunity team that was like trying to qualify for the tournament. The Impunity team initially they didn't qualify through the Southeast Asian qualifiers through the through the sync. What?
Huh?
Orange didn't qualify, right?
Yeah, Orange didn't, right?
Initially,
yeah.
So then basically they had this merger team in the end because
which ended up being two of the original Impunity members.
Right, exactly. So it was like this weird hybrid, and they didn't even have Signify, aka Purify. It just seemed to me like it was a mishmash. It was a mix-up team, and for them to do well on LAN would have been due to some sort of blessing, not due to them earning it.
Yeah.
I mean, Shuyu, he's been around the scene for a long time. All his players have been around the scene for a long time, but that wasn't a team that has been fighting for it. That wasn't a team that has been hungry. Stay Green, for instance, I mean, they had the gaming house put together. They paid their dues. I mean, they've been working hard for a long time. Complexity, they were the runner-up last year. They were trying hard as well before the event. So, I mean, I feel like they got the place they deserved.
Yeah, I mean, my only problem with that, though, is surely they should be Kung Fu Gaming, though, right? I mean, Kung Fu Gaming in a very similar situation, if anything, less experience with their players, and, you know, less experience going into it. They just formed just before, so...
Didn't they win the rematch? What was it in the losers bracket?
They did defeat them in the losers bracket, you're all right.
So yeah, I mean, it's a one-game series during the group stage. It's not something that they can
That is true, yeah. I did forget about that, so... They did move on
in that series,
yeah, 2-0. Okay, that's fair then. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. They finished the 5th, 6th place with S2Y in the end. So
there were definitely some games that Impunity looks like they had some flashes of brilliance, where they had some good drafts and then they had good play and they played those drafts accordingly. But the majority of times it seemed like their drafting was unfocused and then their gameplay was unfocused. There were multiple times where they would put a hero like a Pebbles that is somebody that needs to get farm, or a Predator that needs to get farm, and they would stick him in a 2v3 lane and just be like, well, he's going to get 90 GPM, and there's nothing we can do about it, and make no attempt to rotate whatsoever, or stick him in a 1v2 lane where he's getting no support whatsoever. And it's just like, I don't know. It seemed like there was some lack of leadership there. And I know Kiddo rode the drafter captain spot for most of the first day, and I think part of the second day. And then they actually rotated that. And they seemed to actually do a little bit better after Kiddo got out of that slot. I know that I had heard from some people on scene that Kiddo might have been on tilt pretty hard, but certainly something interesting.
I heard that there was Facebooking going on. I don't know if
there
that's
was
true or not.
Facebooking.
If that was true, I hope there in the future is going to be a rule on LAN where people tab out of the game to do anything like checking Facebook, anything like that. It should be instant, heavy penalization, no funds for the tournament, disqualified, something severe, man. For any sort of phone player tabbing out during those games. In my book,
it's I always find that for two reasons. One is obviously you don't want them having to have the stream up, looking at that, and then two is it's just why. I mean, you're playing a competitive game, you're playing for money. There's money on the line. It's supposed to be a competitive atmosphere, and to just the mentality that you're not
taking it seriously. There's a World Cup being played, and then someone's like, wait, I'm gonna
let me check my text real quickly.
Nope.
Let me tweet this out. Yeah, it's a little bit different to an extreme, sure, but. Yeah, I agree with you that hopefully that's not something that we do talk about more and more in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's dealt with. But yeah, I think I said, do we know if Impunity's still a team, by the way? Or do they... I take it after this event that they're kind of splitting up and at least going different places, I assume.
I don't think the hybrid team is going to exist. I mean, maybe I think they might go back to their roots. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Orange Han is done, isn't it?
I think so.
I believe so. Yeah.
We'll see where Chuyu and Kiddo go from here.
I keep an eye out for them to see where they end up. So, I mean, we've already talked about ITS, Kung Fu Gaming, even a little bit. They both end up finishing that 7th, 8th spot in the end, but kind of their situations. And this actually does bring up a fair point that if there was one major criticism of this event, it simply was the quality of teams that were there. And I personally have always been an advocate, and okay, obviously there's two perspectives to look at from this. One is the business side of things, the side that, it makes sense for the business side. You're trying to involve everyone, you're trying to involve all the regions, have them come together and compete in this epic event that is DreamHack, and, really make everyone feel like, it's one big group, basically. But and the other side of it is... well, I get that. Well, that is. I had another point, but anyways, just Emperor.
The thing is, that's okay. The international aspect is great. I freaking love it. As long as it's not coming at the cost of the overall quality of teams that'll be present. There should still be a large majority of the teams that are there because they're worthy of a spot. If you're, going for international competition and forsaking quality at the same time, just due to the fact that we had a smaller team pool. We only had 8 teams this time. I think we had 16 teams in a previous event, that just allowed us to have a higher concentration of higher skilled teams, and without sacrificing the international aspect of things. It just that's my opinion on it. Is that if you're going to have an international event, make sure you have enough of representation that you can still. Obviously, it's different for the SEA scene because GSL was largely to represent the SEA team, and then we had a couple guest teams that went over there, and that's fine. But especially for here on International Han, it sucks to see that there was a lot of talent that could have made a huge splash, provided tons of entertaining games at the tourney that just didn't get to make an appearance.
Yeah, gotta agree with you a lot right there. Speaking of 16 teams, I mean, when was the last time that Han had that many teams? There was 10 at the last one, and was there a BYOC in last summer, Breaky?
Last summer? Jeez, I believe there was. I believe we took BYOC out for this last event was the one we didn't have, and then this.
Okay, yeah.
But.
I can't remember, but
there's been so many. I would have to actually look back at it to be honest. But
I agree with you though. If you're going to bring in teams that are there purely to try to promote regional viewership and promote regional play, then you need to have more teams. Having half of your teams out of an 8-man tournament be there with a very minimal chance to advance pretty deep. It's probably a little bit too much. Like, have 12 teams and maybe have 4 of those be there for your marketing-based teams.
Yeah.
But ideally, in a perfect world, as a competitor, as a caster, you want to see the most skilled teams there, the ones that have the best chance to go furthest. But at the same time, we all understand that there is a need during these events to try to promote regional viewership.
Yeah, and I mean that did show. We did have casters from literally every single region. We had viewers tuning in from every single region, and that was a great idea of it. But yeah, I mean, Emperor, and it's kind of what I meant to bring up. But you brought up the great point, Emperor, that if anything, just have more teams that are better representation of the NAU scene, those dominating teams, the teams that can actually compete at that very high level. Because that just simply wasn't the case. I mean, there is no if and buts about it. Yeah. And that's actually. In the past, I've been very understanding of the idea that, again, with the whole, you want these regions to come together, you see the qualifiers as that chance for the NAU teams to be like, okay, well then qualify for the main event if you think you are so good, if you can't compete at that top level. But I think this event did show that it maybe, things hopefully, change moving forward with that. But
let's look back at the last DreamHack winter. There were 10 teams there. How many of those teams were?
I believe
it was either 10
yeah.
or 12. I'm pretty sure it was 10. And how many of those teams were international teams? You had Cats Gaming, you had Orange Esports Malaysia, you had Pain Gaming, as well as VTI MSI Dynasty from South America. So there's 4 right there. I want to say there was.
Actually, if you go to dreamhon.com, it's still up. And
I want to say that there was 5 actually.
5, 6. Yeah,
2 Southeast Asian, 1 Russian, and 2 Latin America.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling it up right here. Let me just pull it up on the screen real quick. If you go to dreamhunt.com, it's actually still a little here. But you got the MRR from Thailand, you got Cats, you got Orange Esports, Dynasty and Pain from LA, and then the other 5 were, of course, NAU.
So it's the exact same situation in winter, where we had half of the teams were from international clients. Why did we have such an issue with it this time and not before? Is there just a bigger gap going between the NAU client and the region locked clients?
I don't know. I mean, you can say that. I don't know. I hate to say that, but does it seem like there is? I mean,
I think that there has been. I think that having a Hon Tour where we had teams that were not only playing in competitive games but scrimming every single week, virtually 80% of the time between winter and summer DreamHacks, these NAU teams, Stay Green EU, VDT, and Complexity, were scrimming and playing every single week against the top teams in the world, and I think that gave them an edge on scenes from the rest of the world.
Yep. I do remember, I was trying to pull it up to see if I could still find it, but somebody put a list of the teams out of 10. I think it was DreamHack Winter of 2011 even. It was a while back, but comparing that team list, it was 12 teams, and you had just some impressive names on there, and all 12 teams, just very, very worthy teams and everything, and seeing that list definitely does, it opened my eyes, and I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm referring to. Again, I'm just having trouble finding where it was right now, but anyways, so we'll see moving forward how, again, that it kind of sounds like we're going on a very negative tangent here, which we kind of are, I guess, to an extent, but at the same time,
we're being critical. We're not necessarily negative. We
exactly.
We still enjoyed the event. So it's like, this is what could have been better. We're just reflecting.
Yeah, like I said, if there was one major criticism, it had to be this, but
Fantasy chimes in right here by saying that 3 out of the 4 international teams had major roster changes immediately prior to the event, or had to put together a team specifically for this event. I want to say that S2Y was the only team that didn't have major roster changes. So, and that's something else to look at. I mean, I brought it up in a post before that maybe you kind of have to enforce that 3 out of your 5 players have to be from the team that you qualified with, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to enforce. I want to say that rule was being held for X Trademark. Like, in order to receive their invite, they had to be going with 3 out of their 5 players that qualified.
Pretty sure.
It would make sense to be doing that for the other teams that qualified that way.
Yeah. Well, again, so we'll see moving forward what if something changes with that. But as far as just taking another look back at this event, I mean, again, outside of maybe just the overall competition, it still proved to be obviously a very exciting event. I was a huge fan. We stressed it all going into it. I think even after, it's safe to say, no matter the teams that were in it in the end, the format I loved. I mean, the fact that every team got to play each team once, it gave us a great idea, how teams matched up against other teams. And really set up, for those epic moments in the group stages and then leading into the bracket stage. So
and it gave us so much content.
Oh yeah,
there was a ton. In those 3 days, it was like 88 hours or something like that
It was
over
a
3
lot.
days.
It was a lot.
Just between Coldcast and Honcast, not even talking about
Right.
the two SEA streams or the Russian stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I'm sure. I was about to say it was a lot of fun to watch, but I was casting the whole time. But I'm sure it was a lot of fun to watch from the coverage side, and definitely got a lot out of it. So, and again, it seems from the reactions we've been getting, it's been very positive in that sense. So, I think it's safe to say, once again, a very successful event at the end of the line. But okay, so taking a look back at the event now, let's think of those memorable moments that took place. The one being kind of one that jumps off the top of my head was Pee-wee's Monkey King game. I love how a play, and it does seem like every DreamHack we maybe get one of the two of these players that going in we don't know too much about, or we've heard their name before, but whatever. But they're just stars after, and it's safe to say Pee-wee is that person from this event. Of course, for VDT. Emperor brings up the point all the time, and it's true that there's a team game in the end, and his teammates did a lot for him, sure, but he was a lot of fun to watch, man, and he gained a large fan base after this event. So what do you guys think about that Monkey King game and Pee-wee in general?
All I can say, man, is if you read the pre-DreamHack interview that I did with Fantasy, I actually say in that interview, trust in Pee-wee.
Yeah.
And actually, I believe the headline that he chose for the article was expect a lot of like superstar players coming out from VDT. Yeah. And then if you actually read the question, it's like trust in Pee-wee or something like that. So in the end, I mean, yeah, I knew going into it, I had a really good feeling about it, and they delivered. So I'm happy.
Yeah. Our Beef, what about you? I don't know if you had a chance to look back at it, perhaps, or
absolutely. I did watch that match, and Pee-wee is not only an incredible player, he's been one of my favorite players for quite some time. Really starting back in the Hon Tour qualifiers, when my team, I was actually playing for a team at the time, lost to FYKU at the time. We lost 2 matches, FYKU into Complexity in the qualifiers, and Pee-wee said to me after the game, he's like, hey man, good game, and actually gave me some pointers on how to play my role better. And he didn't know who I was. I wasn't a big casting name yet at this point. He was just a class act, and ever since then he's been one of my favorite players to watch, and he really does deserve all this attention that he's getting. He's not only an incredible player, he's also a really, really nice guy.
Exactly. I mean, again, we weren't there in person, but from what we've heard and just what you can see on camera, the dude is a very humble guy, and it's great to see that, especially from players that are, especially in such again, what is a hostile game, man. I mean, the community at times, the game in general promotes hostility to a certain extent. It promotes smackdowning your opponents and whatnot, and to have this guy that's just like all really lovable and just nice and being at the top levels is definitely fun to see. It definitely reminds, I know that was put up several times, the Slicks 2.0. You can say whether or not that's a great compliment or if that's just he's his own person, but I think it's a perfect kind of compliment as well as a comparison even. Slicks 2.0, man, with this Pee-wee character. So I also just love the fact that he's not afraid to try different heroes, and obviously we saw a bit of that at DreamHack too. So absolutely,
and I'm looking forward to seeing where VDT goes from here. I think that there's still, I mean, everyone can agree, there's still a very young team. Some of their inexperience does show through. I think that there's a little bit of a lack of central leadership, maybe not even a lack as much as that's probably one of their weaker points.
Yep.
And it's so easy to say that because their strengths are, their individual skill as a team is phenomenal. Their team execution is phenomenal. But I think once they really, really get some experience under their belt and maybe work on just executing a little bit better, they definitely have a run at being one of the top teams out there.
Yeah. Well, their big upset of State Green, obviously that was just the beginning. I mean, they competed against Complexity, against SGEU, and obviously a great skill level of players here. And actually, I was double checking. They are signed up for the Monkey King tournament that is going to take place this week. Again, we'll talk about that just a minute here, but so that is good to see. So we get to see more of them perhaps right away. Now, Exhibit is not on that roster though, so I did bring that up during the event. If they were to stay together as a team, which it seems like they are, of course, after DreamHack, how would they approach moving forward? Fitbelly, remember, was the original member that was supposed to be. That qualified with them. He wasn't able to make DreamHack for whatever reason, though. Exhibit replaced. Are we going to see Fitbelly back, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think so? Okay.
Fitbelly initially moved around teams in order to join them for that event too, though, right? I mean, they've been scrimming a lot though lately. Who have they been scrimming with? What 5?
I think they're scrimming right now, actually. I need to open my client back up again, but I remember talking to them. They said that they would be bringing Fabelli back on, and Zibby, he's with Internet Gangsters right now, who's another promising young team.
That's true.
So I would expect both of them to go back to their respective homes after the DreamHack event.
Okay, that's fair, actually. In fact, it's Internet Gangsters. I wonder if they're signed up for this. I don't see that, at least that name on here.
VDT. So. I'm not sure about.
Yeah, VDT's on there, but I don't know if they're in this event. So, trying to talk to me? What's up? anyways, we got Matt Damon over here trying to talk with me. Anyways, so yeah, we'll see. Fun times here, fun times. So IGI, I don't see them on the list though, but so might as well bring this up now while we are on the discussion of it. This Monkey King tournament, it's taking place this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're planning on covering it here on Honcast. It's the Ultimate Series is what it's following, similar to the Luna Ultimate Avatar event that we held before DreamHack. So this one isn't a banning draft tournament, though. It is actually just a straight-up lockpick tournament, so it's your normal mode. And it's a 64-team event, and gold coin prize pool as well as Ultimate Avatars. So obviously, it's more of a fun style event, but at least keeps things busy here, both from coverage standpoint as well as the players getting to play. So looking forward once again to seeing that take place. Again, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will be doing coverage for that. So just to give you guys an idea of what's looking ahead here, Ultimate Monkey King Avatar. It's a fun avatar. Super Saiyan, man.
It has a horrific face, man.
The face is...
I think it might have been, I don't know, it's pretty scary, man. It's pretty intense. It gives me nightmares.
Yeah.
I love the Super Saiyan aspect.
It's been deemed nightmare fuel.
Nightmare fuel?
Nice.
Is that the actual term you were applying to?
That is the term.
Nightmare fuel.
It should be a fun tournament, though.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit sad that it's not banning draft or at least something more fun.
I was a little surprised to see a lockpick, because I think it was fun
way
with
too
the
serious
banning draft.
face, and I mean, sure, you know, maybe banning draft isn't the most balanced mode, but it's a mode that a lot of people don't have experience with, and one could argue that lockpick isn't the most balanced mode either.
I think I think you need to go into these Ultimate Series tournaments with duplicate mode on, and each team has to have one hero that the Ultimate Series is of. So both teams go into the game with a Monkey King in this tournament every single game.
That's true.
And then you can pick your heroes around.
That would be fun, wouldn't it? Though, like you have to exactly.
I don't know, man. I think that would be.
I
don't know what the community would think,
pick
but
has to be
VDT
awesome.
would dominate, though. That's the problem.
What's that?
What's that?
VDT would dominate.
Well, everybody's gonna have to get a Monkey King picker, dude.
Yeah.
Axley's out there, guys. Axley is out there. Find him for your Monkey King teams.
That's
it would
true.
actually be the best way to decide who is. Yeah, I would agree.
That would be fun. Or we could just form our own super team here at Honcast if we could play in it instead of casting it. Huh?
We can cast it as we play in it from our perspective.
We can do that too.
That's really
would
difficult.
be challenging and fun.
Have you ever done that before, Breaky?
No.
It is
It
really
sounds like a
difficult.
very difficult idea.
We should do that in some mid-wars one of these days.
Milkbat would be down. He'd be down to play. Have we got Panman? Is Panman on board? Panman's on board. We're good.
With B, Milk Fat, Panman, Beef, Breaky.
Can it get better? I don't know if it can. Have you seen my PSR lately?
Can't look
pretty good.
Any better looking, that's for sure. That was to not speak right there.
That paranoid guy that appeared up at 2800 over the weekend.
2800?
Yeah, someone apparently, like, I don't know if it was their stats got bugged or they had
they actually got that MOR.
KD and 2800, you know, MR and a bunch of crap like that.
Interesting. Can't say I saw that. Anyway, so we are going to be doing coverage for that, though, for that event. So again, that starts Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. At least looking forward to having some fun, seeing some teams again, and perhaps some newer teams. Hey, actually, that lines up pretty perfectly now that I think about it. If this Kazu's new team, Kazu's Slicks, it sounds like they're going to be making a new team of some kind. I wonder if maybe that'll be their debut. I don't know. You said a couple days.
Registration for that ends tomorrow, I think.
Oh.
So.
That's true. Well, we'll see. Here's to hoping. Here's to hoping. If we can maybe see them in there. Meisty wants to make a point that we're talking a lot about Pee-wee and his Monkey King, but we can't forget about Cookies. That is true.
Well, no, it's just because Cookies wasn't at DreamHack and stuff like that.
I don't know, man.
Like who's in the light right now. Of course, Cookies Monkey King is incredible.
Cookies told me that Pee Wee's Monkey King was better.
I think we need a 1v1. I think we need a 1v1 tournament for Ultimate Heroes as well. Like we need a Monkey King 1v1 event.
Wait, did Cookies actually say that?
Somebody on AL said
it sounds
that.
so
might
perfect,
have been
doesn't it? I mean, but that'd be fun. A 1v1 Monkey King. We could do it for all the Ultimate Avatars too. Kind of just having fun with that. Anyway, I'm just rambling on here.
See, look at that. There's so many ideas for content.
So many ideas. Pee Wee vs Monkey. Pee Wee vs Monkey King. Lol. Pee Wee vs Cookies. That'd be fun. Look like Emperor's done. He's done with it.
Out of here.
He thinks that's a horrible idea, apparently.
He's gonna go write something on the board, I guess.
We can't see it. I don't know what he's expecting to happen. Can you see the board? I mean, I can see him over there, but... Are you gonna bring the webcam to the board? Is he actually gonna do this? I know.
Is it a wireless webcam? I don't think it's gonna work.
I just had to label it the Solstice Balancing Room for a sec.
Oh,
it's okay.
Gotcha.
You're out of control. Yeah, registration for Ultimate Monkey King does end tomorrow at 1700 EDT.
Yeah.
2300 CEST. So guys, there's still signups available if you do want to go play for that. Gold Coins Glory and Ultimate Monkey King Nightmare Fuel Faces are on the line. So make sure to sign up.
There you go. And chance to be casted on Honcast. There you go.
There you go.
Especially for the earlier rounds. You know, we just choose random matches. So there's definitely a good chance. So check that out. Again, it's going to be fun covering that, and you know, we'll look forward to also maybe doing something else. We'll see. All right, back on track though. I mean, I guess going back to the DreamHack event here. I don't know if there's much else to say, honestly. It was a great event as far as things that stood out. We are working on stuff on our end too. I know there's been some requests and whatnot for both recap videos as well as top play / moments videos. We do have something in the works that we've been working on now pretty much since DreamHack finished, so that content will be coming out, I can say the least, as far as here in the near future, as I look over at my editors and they just give me an evil stare. But yeah, we're gonna, definitely it's gonna be fun putting those out and kind of recapping and looking back at the event, but a lot of fun stuff happened. We had some upsets. We had some great results. It finished the grand finals. I thought were just amazing. I mean, it was definitely funny hearing Moon there as far as the interview goes in that game number 3. How he said, I think he said something about time stopped for him really to an extent as far as when they thought. They were so close. They really were. They definitely could have won that game, man. But just some unfortunate mistakes and lost.
I might have shed a tear when I saw Charles step into that elemental void.
Ultimate, yeah.
And then I just so begrudgingly hit that shift button, hit V, O, I, D, and typed enter into Honcast chat. I just had to say it, man. Big Tempestal.
Did you actually write it?
I did. And then I did a sad face afterward, but I had to do it, man. Like, it was a big Tempestal. It made me cry, but oh god, I'm gonna cry again.
It was big. Don't worry, we'll have you relive that once our video comes out. Make that video. There you go. That's chat. I love those, man. I love that we were able to get those out by the grand finals. That was awesome. Anyways, I think we are getting to a point of kind of dwindling down here, wrapping things up. So unless you guys have much else to say about DreamHack, about just any other news that maybe you've heard in the Hon scene, or
Alienware tournament.
Oh yes, Beef, the Alienware tournament. That's good to bring up. Where is information on that? But is there anything on the forums? I don't know. I was looking around.
Milkfat made a post on the forums.
Okay, let me actually see if I can pull that up real quickly then. Was it under the competitive section?
It absolutely was.
Was it not sticky?
No, it was not.
Alienware Arena. Okay, I think this is it. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. Booyah. So this is a forum post here. Okay, so yeah, it's 2 different regions. Yeah, I was hearing about that. So Alienware, they've done this in the past as far as their events are concerned when it comes to pricing and whatnot. They usually do region locks. Unfortunately, it does kind of suck to an extent, but at the same time, they are events. So there is a NA North American events open to Canada and the U.S. as well as Mexico. So $1,500 prize pool. It's could take place, as you can see the dates right there. So decent prize pool there. And then the EU event, 1750 euros is the prize pool for that one. And that's for the European region. So a couple of events there. We'll definitely look forward to perhaps covering those, I'm sure, in the future as well. But definitely something else to look forward to.
Yeah,
as far as
and
events
that's
happening.
going to be starting middle of July, I want to say.
I think it looks like registration is to July. Yeah, July 22nd through August 1st, as it looks like for both of the tournaments. Yes. So mid to late July is when we can expect those events. Good stuff.
Fun.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
also interesting to note that those are going to be on the weekdays.
Are they? Okay.
Rather than weekends. So I think that's one of the reasons why they might be region locked, is so that people can have more preferable times to actually play in them in the evening for each region, so that people that are at work or at school or anything like that might still be able to attend, but should be fun. Looking forward to having some of those teams sign up, and once again being able to evaluate where we are with those new teams. So registration open for another 2 weeks at this point, or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's actually a while. So definitely get signed up for those tournaments, no matter which region you're in, and look forward to having some fun. Again, I really do promote that, man. You know what? No matter what level you are, this Monkey King tournament, these Alienware events, just get 5 people, get 5 friends. I guess 4 friends technically, and find 4 people online that you play with well, and just sign up for these events, man. I've always stressed, and I still feel this way. This genre, let alone Han, it's meant to be played in the competitive atmosphere. It really is. From what I see of it. So definitely, we're giving you opportunities to do so. So definitely take advantage of that when it comes down to it. So there you go. Emperor, you have anything else as far as you wanted to bring up before we start wrapping this up?
No other topics, really. I think that pretty much covers everything that's been going on lately. I'm sure throughout this week, we heard a lot of statements will be coming out. Just waiting for them, and well, by next week we'll have a lot more to talk about.
Hopefully.
Definitely.
There you go. Definitely.
Most def.
I'm looking forward to that KZU situation, KZU Slicks, and what we're gonna hear from that. I really am.
Yeah.
And then even Stay Green itself, where do they go too? So
I was told the Swindle statement will be out in 2 days, or tomorrow, or 2 days, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it would be great to have their point. I believe he's still in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. They're still over there, enjoying their win and
tour.
Yeah, they did the same thing after Thailand, I believe. They stayed over there in that area and enjoying their time.
Hey, that's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, makes sense.
You're already over there.
Exactly. Why waste it? All right, though, I think it's good to pretty much start wrapping up here. So, ladies and gentlemen, definitely a solid podcast. Had some great interview guests on. So, first things first, shout out to those two, both KZU and Moomianer, for coming on and talking a little bit about some Han, some news that's been going on, as well as DreamHack as a whole, what they thought about it. Sounds like they both really enjoyed it in the end, and that was great to hear. We'll go around right here. We'll start with Emperor. Shout-outs you want to make? Any closing statements here?
Shout out to the community, and shout out to Panny. I think he's casting some scrims right now, or something, covering some of the content that is going out there right now. Some teams you mentioned before, VDT, IG, some of the other people I've been scrimming throughout the week, and I think he's covering some of those scrims right now, and just shit him out, and shout out to the community, and that's pretty much it for me.
All right, Beef, what about you?
I have extensive shout-outs, so it's going to take like 5 minutes, guys.
As usual. No. I'm going to see you later.
I just want to give a shout-out to my stream, of course, twitch.tv/Colcast. It is no longer Complexity Han. I actually got renamed along with getting subscriber over there.
That's right, yeah.
Make sure to check that out, guys. My streaming this week isn't going to be that much because I am still moving. Probably going to be moving tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll be trying to do coverage of Ultimate Monkey King, but I can't guarantee anything yet, as we do not have internet at the new house just yet. Hopefully going to be getting that in on Wednesday. So make sure to check that out, guys. And of course, go over to the forums where I do have a post up about Colcast and the new subscriber. I'm looking for your suggestions on what to do with our new chat emoticons, and also looking for your vote on which one to use for our subscriber icon. So check that out. In addition, make sure to check out Complexity Gaming this weekend at MLG Anaheim. Like I said earlier, we're going to be having 22 players and personnel there between our entire League of Legends team, our Call of Duty team, and 8 players from our StarCraft squad, as well as both the Jason's Lake and Base, and both of our player managers there, their families. So make sure to head on down if you are in the area, down to MLG Anaheim, watch some awesome esports there, and get a chance to meet your favorite Cole players and staff. And hope to meet some of you there. But should be a good weekend, and that's it.
There you go. Yeah, I wish I could make it out to MLG, man. I've had the chance to go to the Anaheim event actually once before. It was a lot of fun out there. So you enjoy that, Beef. As far as you guys tuning in, thank you as always for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out one more time to Keizu Mumiana for coming on and giving us some spiel there as far as, again, everything Han and whatnot else. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be wrapping things up here on the Honcast Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Monkey King Tournament, the Ultimate Series, will start on Wednesday here on Honcast. Do not miss coverage at that, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern. That's 1800 Central European Time. Until next time, we'll see ya.